Joe O. Sammy P. I'm at Joe Ostrowski on X. Sam at SP Shoot. Let's go to Denver at Vegas for an AFC West matchup. And you didn't think before the season that it was going to be Denver -6, a rookie quarterback laying 6 points on the road. But that's the scenario. And I understand it, actually. You know, most times we take a look at a 3-point move and say, whoa, that's too much. Got to look at the other side. I'm not interested in betting the Raiders, Sam. I'm not. And this injury report is ugly. And I'm wondering, okay, how much does this team want to lose? They've now lost 6 straight in the NFL. They're 0-3 in the division. So now you got a Raiders team that's 2-8 at home. RB1, RB2 not practicing this week. Zamir White, Alexander Madison. Also not practicing on Thursday, your 3 cornerbacks, your top 3 cornerbacks. So Jack Jones, Jacorian Bennett, your nickel Nate Hobbs, all out on Thursday's practice. So they don't have a starting corner. They don't have a starting or a backup running back right now. And you're facing a fantastic defense in the Denver Broncos. And Bo Nix is doing everything right, not making any mistakes. Sean Payton pressing all the right buttons. They're already over on the win total of 5.5 points. So with all that said, I understand the move to 6.
I had Raiders last week, as you know. And
so did I.
You're catching 8. It closes 7-7. Actually, it got bet back up day of the game. It got to 7. Okay. And then Miami money came in on Sunday. I think it got to 7.5, 8 by kickoff. And you feel good. The Raiders were down 5 with 3:30 to go. And Miami's just running the clock out. Just running it out. And then McDaniel decides, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to play action pass this thing. Jonnu Smith is wide open down the seam for 57 yards. Touchdown. Touchdown Dolphins. If that didn't happen to me last week, I would probably be on the Raiders, but I know they always say the best time to go back is the very next week. I still don't want to.
Something different with this team. Here's the difference. They suck. Like, they're really bad. And, you know, I'm talking about these ugly dogs too. They suck as well. But at least we're getting 8, 9, 11 points. We're not even getting a touchdown with the Raiders. You want to bet on the Raiders when you get
7
6?
Would be nice. I don't think we're getting 7, though. It's sitting 6 almost everywhere.
No. And Bo Nix has proven that this guy can go on the road and win. He's 5-1 against the spread on the road this year. Rookie quarterback, 5-1 against the number. Now, this is the peak of the market for the Denver Broncos. I understand that. But I would go Broncos or nothing. It sounds crazy to say out loud after numbers move 3 points and a rookie quarterback on the road, but that's just where I'm at. We saw this game. We saw it in week 5. Denver wins 34-18. 34-18. Big turnover game, but that's what the Raiders have been this year. Their turnover margin is -15, tied for worst in the league. So, I mean, that's what they typically do. The prop I was alluding to, how do you not look at Brock Bowers? I know it's super popular, but in their matchup in week 5, Bowers had 8 catches, 97 yards, a touchdown on 12 targets. And last week against Miami, Bowers had 13 catches on 16 targets, 126 yards and a touchdown. Reception number 6.5, overs plus money, yardage 57.5. I know that's a great defense, but if you want to play over on the Brock Bowers props, I don't have an argument for you because they're just going to continue to feed that beast.
The total hasn't moved all week, which is strange. Usually you see at least a move of a point, 1.5, open 41, sitting 41. No movement, no opinion on the total, which is very rare in the NFL. You look at a lot of these games, they've moved, Tennessee, Houston, 43-40. Baltimore Chargers, 48-51. Chicago, Minnesota, 41-39. Carolina, Kansas City, 41.5 to 43. This total in Vegas has not budged. 41 to 41. That's rare. I wanted Vegas. I can't do it. You and I, earlier this week, we bet Nick's offensive rookie of the year. We root for that. I hope he throws 8 touchdowns. That's all I care about. Just go, Bo, go. Go, Bo, go.
Let's quickly do this. And I know the number matters, but it is under touchdown, as we've mentioned. Coaching advantage, which side?
Denver.
Quarterback.
Denver.
Defense.
Denver.
Offense.
Denver.
What's the Raiders' argument?
I know what you're doing. The problem is, here's my counterpoint to that. When all the analysts are on TV picking the games, and there's 7 of them on TV.
I know. Yeah.
How many of them pick Vegas?
Nobody's picking Vegas. 0. Yeah. Greeny ain't picking Vegas. Rex Ryan ain't picking Vegas.
Greeny is not picking Vegas. That I can assure you of. Look, the NFL tends to NFL in games like this, and Knicks plays poorly, and Denver wins by 3. It's not impossible. It's just not a game I really love. I don't know how else to put lipstick on this pig.
Yeah, it's easier to say Denver -6 when you see them win 38-6 the week before. Like, sometimes we fall for that trap and we know better, but we're in agreement. Cannot bet the Raiders. Maybe do Brock Bowers props. If I'm desperate for a contest play, maybe I would go Denver -6. That's how the Raiders suck and they have nobody and they have a terrible coach. We can go on and on about this game, but this one's more interesting. This next one, San Francisco at Green Bay. This has been bet up 2-3. That was a reaction to the injury news on the Niners side. So it is the Packers in Lambeau, favored by 3, total 46.5. So the spread moving in favor of Green Bay, the total moving down. We don't know if Brock Purdy's playing. That's why this number moved. He was limited in Thursday's practice. They're saying we're hopeful he can play. He's dealing with a right shoulder injury. And those that were witnesses in the media said he looked terrible. He did not look good at all. And you have CMC not 100%. Kittle early in the week says he's playing. He was limited. CMC limited. Trent Williams not practicing on Thursday. And the difference maker on the defensive side of the ball, Nick Bosa, not practicing. Now, the Packers are dealing with a couple of injuries. Jair Alexander never practices, so you never know if he's going to go. Josh Jacobs, Josh Myers, a center, both limited on the offensive side of the ball. But the conversation is not about the Packers, what they're doing, who's available. It is all about the impactful players on the Niners and which ones are going to be available.
Namely, the quarterback, Brock Purdy. Now, some people still think he's going to play, and there will be that appetite if Purdy is in. Well, if Purdy gets ruled in, the 3s go away because there is still, on November 22nd, an appetite to bet San Francisco for some people. I wrote a story for Fox yesterday. I talked to a bettor in Vegas, and he said, quote, "We like Green Bay at a cheap price. San Francisco has a lot of problems right now, and it's more than just the injuries. Here's where it gets good, though. This is not the Niners team from last year or the last few years, but nobody's really lowering the power rating, and their pedigree is blinding." Hello. He continues, "There's always going to be someone who thinks they'll bounce back. They are not a top 5 team, but they are still priced like one." That's somebody who bets for a living saying that. And then he continues the conversation by saying something I brought up off the top when our show started. He says, quote, "Next week at Buffalo, they make the line Buffalo 3.5 against San Francisco. So San Fran goes to Buffalo next week. Buffalo was only 2.5 on Kansas City. So Kansas City and San Francisco are almost the same. Make that make sense."
Do you know the Niners' backup quarterback? I had to look
Jeff
it up.
Garcia?
Your guy.
Tim Rattay? I don't know.
Brandon Allen.
Oh, former
Brandon
Bronco,
Allen.
Brandon Allen. Yes, of course, Brandon Allen.
Did not play last year. The third string guy. Maybe they do a day ball if Purdy is unavailable and then go right to the third stringer. That is Josh Dobbs. We remember that Josh Dobbs run last year. People were getting really excited. He's going to be the comeback player of the year. And then he continued to play. And then we saw what Josh Dobbs was. Yeah, I can't get on the San Francisco side. That's interesting. That even now in week 12, you do get the sense that there are betting opportunities going against the Niners because they have so much respect. And I think that's such a true statement. There's always somebody that thinks they're going to turn it around with San Francisco. And, hand up, I was one of those people for way too long. Sometimes you have seasons where just everything goes against you and there is no coming back. And when we were talking about it with Nate Collins the other day, the idea of the Super Bowl losers, we saw this, I believe it was 2020 with the Niners, almost an identical scenario where it was just injury after injury after injury, and they never got off the mat. Maybe that's what happens with the 2024 San Francisco team. I'm not playing the game. Are you doing anything?
No, I'm not. I think the line about the pedigree is very telling. That's a very strong line. The pedigree is blinding. And when he says nobody's dropping their ratings, I get numbers from multiple guys. In terms of ranking in the NFL right now, 32 teams, one guy's got him 4th, one guy's got him 5th, one guy's got him 6th in power rating. Does that even feel right with San Francisco?
No. Not with what we've seen. Not with who's available. So at what point does it drop? I'm not sure. Love's got to fix the interception problem. That's real. Sometimes people say they're fluky and, they're tough to predict. He's got the second highest interception rate in the NFL. We saw a bad red zone interception last week against the Bears. Jordan Love is a favorite. Not a great record, but he does very well as an underdog. He already has as many interceptions as he had all of last year in 17 games. And we're entering week 12. So Packers probably feel lucky to win that one. Sitting here on a Friday morning telling you what to bet in this game, I don't know how you do it because we don't know who's playing for San Francisco. But even if they are out there, I don't see myself on the +3, or it would go back to 2.5. So
I would lay anything under 3.
I don't have anything.
If they rule Purdy in, good. Let him play. I would lay Green Bay -2. Think about this. San Fran loses this game. Then they go to Buffalo. This is their season. This is it. They lose these 2 games, dead.
No doubt about it. All right, let's go to Arizona, Seattle. I don't know which team to say is the favorite because the sports books disagree. We'll go with BetMGM's numbers. They have Arizona as the favorite. Cardinals -1, total 47.5. But if you look across the street, they've got Seattle as the favorite. So, yeah, it's probably going to close somewhere around a pick 'em. Do you have anything on this game? This is a game that has flown under the radar, I think, more than any other game, which is kind of strange to me. Maybe it's because it's hard to come up with opinion since these two teams are very close.
This is your preseason sleeper, Seattle, against my preseason sleeper, Arizona. San Francisco falling apart. Ramley alive one week, dead the next. Who really knows what their end game is? This game has serious implications for the West. I'll be rooting Arizona, but I don't know that I'll get to the window either way.